Um, this particular video is to address why I did not start transitioning until I was 56 years old, physically transitioning. So I'm going to break into this really fast because it's going to get way too long. When I was, 2 or 3, I just automatically knew I was a boy. I mean, that's how I felt. I was a boy. And it took my parents till I was 4 to convince me that I didn't have a penis. Uh, that, of course, was devastating, and it sent me into this horrible downward spiral of my self esteem went to shit at that point, and so I spent most of my childhood till puberty just in a whole fantasy mode. Everything was just fantasy world, and most of that, of course, in my fantasies, I was always a boy, but I ended up, just spending a lot of time wishing and hoping that I would, go to bed and wake up and my penis would be there. I would have dreams like that, that I, went to bed and woke up and my penis was there. So that was pretty much the extent of my childhood. A lot of fantasy. I didn't have a lot of friends. I stayed away from people. They picked on me a lot. I got picked on a lot as a kid. And so I just, because they would call me tomboy, they call me names, They picked on me because I was so masculine. And then I hit puberty, and that was like a big ass slap in the face from the universe, because I come from a family of extremely well endowed genetically uh, female bodied people. So yeah, I was just devastated when I started getting tits, and imagine what it was like when my period started. Oh yeah, that was a big slap in the face. Um, how I made it through puberty without killing myself, again, I don't know. Except that when I was 14, Time magazine came out with an article readdressing, for some reason, Christine Jorgensen's sex change back in 1952. Um, and all of a sudden, I was like, what? There's other people like me out there? And there's surgery to fix this? I didn't understand about the hormone shit, but I knew there was surgery that could, um, you know, address my issue. At least that's what I got out of the article. Anyway, so from that point forward, I left Fantasyland and went into a different type of Fantasyland, which was I started, planning in my head how I was going to do this sex change operation thing, how I was going to get it done, and do it stealth so nobody knew. I mean, I had all these elaborate fantasies around it. But I spent most of the rest of my teens there, and my early to mid 20s in that whole fantasy mode of I was going to do this one day, and then I got together with an old high school friend, uh, and we partnered, and uh, we talked about my transgendered state. We didn't call it that, but you know what I mean. Me being a man, we talked about it a lot because she never read me as anything other than male, which was part of the reason why I think that relationship was had the success that it did have. Was because she did read me as male. She saw me as a man, and that was important to me. Very important to me. It still is actually to be read by as a man. Always, not just when you feel like it. When we're in bed making love, I want to be read as a man. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, she saw me as a man, and one of the we would talk about surgery for me and transitioning and everything. But the problem was is that I was in the middle of a major career push in my mid 20s through my mid 30s, where I was materialistically trying to get ahead. And we did, trust me. We were, the two of us, very successful together, materialistically, financially. We did very well. And then universe decided that I needed a little change up there. So it did that change up by she passed away, and in that career that I was so fucking driven for um, evaporated with them shutting down the subsidiary I had worked for all those years. And so I'm suddenly, set free. I mean, literally cut, free floating, set free into the universe, which was, you may say, oh God, how horrible, blah, blah. No, it wasn't actually. It was a gift. It was, everything about it was a gift. Um, I'm not saying that, the universe killed her, uh, because that's not true. She, shit happens, people die. Um, but it was part of what sent me into this, like, cathartic spiritual experience that changed me forever as a person. And I mean completely, a 180-degree change from what I had been before. And anyway, at that point, shortly after, she passed away, I joined my first real trans group, because there were trans groups back then. It was the early 90s. I mean, 90. It was 90, okay? It was 1990. And so I joined a trans group in LA, where I was from, there. And I learned a lot about, you know, trans issues and stuff. Which, at the time there wasn't a whole lot of information about anyway, but, we got together and we hammered at each other, and it was mostly MTFs in that group, but there were some FTMs, and I was one of them. And my friend Michael, which I wish I could find him. I don't know what happened to Michael. But anyway, because Michael really did transition, as opposed to Jay, who did not. And anyway, um, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this now, because I'm going to pick up again, and that'll be part 2. So I'll see you back in a moment.